everybody, and welcome back. We have the next series of the day, and this one should be a lot of fun as well. We have Team Spirit versus SG Esports. We've got the Eastern European team up against the SA team, and I'm pretty excited to see what's going to happen between both of these guys.
Me too. It's been really fun to watch Team Spirit throughout the DPC leagues, and to see them be succeeding here. They haven't blown everybody out of the water. I think. I mean, they're not like top of their group, but they've been winning solid games. They've been playing very well. SG Esports was a team that I expected to probably go bottom two, and that may still happen, or as in get knocked out of groups potentially, but they're fighting for it. They're doing their best, and we'll see if they can stick around and stay in the tournament.
Tell me more how you're a South America hater.
I didn't say that.
No, I'm just teasing.
I just looked at all the DPC points, the fact that we expected No Ping Esports to make it in, not SG Esports. So while SG Esports has great players, I was a little bit surprised.
Yeah, they were a little bit of a dark horse for me as well, because again, you look at what SG has. They've got these very legacy players, I guess is a good way to put it, that have been around in the scene for a very long time. And it seemed like they were kind of hitting their stride, so I was excited with the fact that they were going to get the chance to get out of Brazil, to come out to Europe and be able to play against different teams. And we've been seeing varying results coming out from South America, right? We've been seeing Beast Coast hitting that stride. Thunder Predator, unfortunately, it feels like they're a little lost in their identity. So this game, for me, very interesting against a team like Team Spirit, who clearly know what they want to do and how they want to hit all of those timings.
Yeah, let's jump into the draft really quick here. We are just about to get up to the first pick for Team Spirit, so you seem disappointed. What is there a hero ban that you're not happy about?
No, I'm trying to move my chair because my feet don't touch the floor, and I'm feeling really awkward. Thank you for pointing out my insecurities.
It was a shift, not like a. I saw you put your arms up for balance, and I thought that was you cheering a little bit, or a Durat kind of thing. Okay.
I'm just short.
There's the high win rate hero, the Elder Titan. He is doing really well. Almost every team I feel like we've seen pick him. Standing wise, SG Esports is 2-12 right now. They really need some W's. So this is the place that they need to get him, because if we check the amount of games that they are playing, yeah, this is their last series. If they do not 2-0 this, they're going to get bottom of their group.
That's very disappointing.
And Purge will be labeled as a South America hater, unfortunately.
Yeah, why you got to be like that?
I didn't plan to be, but here I am. Team Spirit on the other side, they're sitting really good in standings. They're 8-6. That ties them for third place right now with Team Secret. So yeah, that's a pretty good team to be in leagues with at TI. So Team Spirit definitely doing great compared to the fact that they struggled to make majors. They did good in DPC, but first season was a little bit rough. So it'd be cool to see them do well. Make a deep run here. But yeah, this is their last match as well, so looking good for them. If they can get all the way up to 10-6, if they 2-0 here, they're going to be really happy. Upper bracket, that gets them one spot deeper in terms of prize money guaranteed. There's some amazing benefits for them.
A lot on the line indeed. I will say, though, one thing I am disappointed is that the Olacor on SG, when I first started watching them, plays an incredible Elder Titan. And I was kind of hoping that we get to see it this game, because Elder Titan has crept its way back into the meta. But Team Spirit, obviously, very, very up to date on the meta to snap it up for themselves. And I can't say that I blame them at all. But on the flip side of things, SG does manage to grab themselves the Tiny. I'd say that he's definitely a winner of this current patch. The Lion...
Not so much.
No.
He looked good in DPC, kept getting a couple nerfs. It was a save special over on VP, so it helped set and show that it was a really, really strong hero. Other teams liked it a lot as well, of course, due to all the mobility Spirit-type heroes. But to see it picked in the first phase, I'm a little surprised. But hey, if that's what they think they need to get locked down and secure themselves against the enemy team, go for it. And this basically says, hey, no matter how mobile the enemy heroes you pick are, we are going to have a line, and we're going to be able to deal with it. So it gives you some kind of a draft advantage that either forces your opponents to ban those heroes and allows you the opportunity to pick them. So it's... On paper, it looks like kind of a weak pick maybe because he's a little squishy, has some issues, but draft-wise, it gives you other advantages to make up for it.
Well, the Tidehunter picked up for Team Spirit. Yet another hero. I believe he has a fairly high win rate at this point. We've been seeing him a lot, most notably seeing a lot of Old 11 on the streams that we have been casting, picking up this hero, it just gives you really nice potential early on where you're afraid to push into a team that has a
10
Ravage, and then
seconds.
later on, having the gush and whatnot really causes a lot of
5
issues.
Yeah,
seconds.
it's really nice to transition into Ags on Tide because before Ags existed for Tide, you did feel a lot like you'd be tanky. Ravage is amazing, obviously, but past that, maybe anchor smashing the right carry heroes. It felt like once Ravage is gone, your hero's not really much of anything other than like you have net worth, you have mech, pipe, that kind of stuff. Once you get Ags, it's a lot easier to feel like you're valuable without initiating. You can like help gank easier. You can counter push and push creep waves with Gush. It just gives you a lot more tools that aren't necessarily as strong as Ravage, but teamfight impact still gives your team like good mobility and good damage and stuff. So it's a cool way to transition him if you're ahead.
10 seconds remain.
Second phase bans Oracle. I haven't seen much Oracle myself,
It's a
but
Keaton jungles that they play occasionally.
exactly. I figured it was a team-specific thing. Much like the Tinker ban in the first phase, haven't seen too many other teams go for that. So I assume they just want to ban out the comfort heroes for SG like we talked about last series. Removing comfort in these do-or-die moments for teams is really helpful because I really did think Thunder Predator had a good shot of taking that second game
Yeah.
in the match we just watched, which would have been surprising. But hey, they laned really well. They pushed their advantage. It gave them good opportunities. They just didn't quite close it out, but it was a good shot. So don't let SG do the same thing.
This is pretty interesting. I actually was just checking our stats group,
rating
and
spam.
there was a new TI all-time record. Was Quincy versus SG. Theolacore actually killed 7 couriers in that match,
Wow.
the highest by one player.
7's a lot. Sometimes I see those like Dota Plus challenges. It's like kill 2 couriers, and I'm like, I don't know if I could do that without like.
Depends on the hero, right?
If you play like a 4 and you ward behind the tower to get it, like okay, sure,
Yeah.
you can probably kill 2 couriers. But like in a normal game, it's like if you're not really aiming for it, yeah, getting those courier kills can be tough.
Trying to see what they've been running currently over on SG. They banned out the lane. That's something actually that they've played a decent amount themselves, but it hasn't had very good win rate for them.
It's a lot of Yotaro, or sorry, wrong
Wrong team,
wrong
Omi.
Japanese sounding name. Toronto Tokyo is the other one that I was thinking. All of his heroes, what, the
Go on.
Invoker and the Lina are his heroes
Yes.
typically, and he's very good at them. Ban him out.
5 seconds remain.
That definitely makes sense. They ban out the Sven and, of course, the Queen of Pain against SD.
Normally.
I wouldn't be surprised to see something like Sand King getting picked up for SG. That is a Tavo special. Back in the day, when I say back in the day, it's not even that long ago, but when he was on Pain Gaming, there were very specific heroes that you did not want to let Tavo get. Tavo was very good with Nature's Prophet. He was good with Sand King, and then, of course, the Pangolier or Tavalier, as we all like to call it. But Pango, not quite as popular in that 3 position. You occasionally see him, in the support role. Sand King, I feel like we should have seen more Sand King, honestly. He seemed very, very popular, but we've seen the rise of the Tide Hunter and
The issue, I
the
think,
Earthshaker.
yeah, I agree, and I do see, I like Sand King a lot, but the issue with him, and this is, because I would pick him and I would play him and I would do okay, but what I realize is like as the game goes on, a lot of times you're literally just a single one-man stun, and that's not good enough. Like if a lot of these offlaners have like big teamfight ultimates or that like guarantee kills that are easy to use, Sand King's epicenter is not always easy. A lot of the time you're the guy that jumps in and sets up something, and there has to be a follow-up. So Sand King works best if there's somebody paired with him, like a Mirana or an Ice Blast, something that's like really powerful but hard to land. Sand King works great in those lineups, but for a lot of other lineups, it's not quite as effective. So I like Sand King, but yeah, I think he probably just has a bit of a mediocre win rate at times.
Well, there still is an Earthshaker available in the pool as well. That's something that's been fairly popular, I'd say. I'm seeing a lot of him. I feel like around TI time, you always see these heroes with the really big sort of ultimates, just, the viewer experience, making sure that it's extra fun, extra hype.
There's got to be an Earthshaker on the stage clapping his
hitting the thing.
What
was the other one? Was the Ogre Magi,
yeah,
like
yep.
hitting it, and then there's always that one guy in the audience who's trying to throw off everyone else.
Which is going to be the case this time as well. There's going to be like Slacks in the audience trying to clap at weird speeds, and he looks around, there's no one there. But
and then he is just the regular clapper at that point. If there's only one person clapping, you can't be offbeat.
We can't have somebody with that beat clapping at TI this year, guys. But clap at home. Definitely clap at home.
Send us videos of you clapping.
Just by yourself in your gamer room. Yeah, that'd be. I don't want to watch them, but feel free to send them to somebody else.
That would be kind of a cool thing, right? It's just like send in like, how crazy of a fan are you for like your team, and Just send a little video. They've got like the war paint on. They've got their
5
flag, their
seconds
country's
remaining.
flag wrapped around their back, a party horn.
Again, I'm not going to watch those videos, but feel free to send them to
I
somebody.
think it would be very exciting and very cool. Anyways, Mira, though, picking up the Mirana. This is a hero very, very comfortable with, makes a lot of plays, gets a ton, and I do stress, a ton of courier snipes. So maybe he heard that the Olacor was trying to show him up, and he was like, nah, son,
Yeah,
nah,
I-
son.
I
We're going to
think-
show you how it's done.
Yeah, he's here to set TI stat records,
Yes.
not win prize money.
Why not both?
He
Why
could do
not
both, but I mean, every win here is a big deal because Secret probably has one more series left as well. So if Team Spirit goes like 1-1 here, like those are the gimme wins. This is the one team that almost everybody has beat. You got to get the 2-0 here for Team Spirit. If you don't, there's a chance Secret gets the higher
10
seed. Maybe
seconds.
Team Spirit isn't guaranteed upper bracket. There's a lot of dangerous stuff going on.
5 seconds.
Well, everything,
But definitely snipe couriers if you can.
yeah, everything they're playing right now is something that is fairly considered meta and also things that they're very comfortable with. So right now, I would say they're feeling very secure. SG picking a lot of stuff, actually, that is very comfortable for them as well. I mean, the Lion, not necessarily meta, but we know that Tavo plays a lot of Doom. Most likely now it's going to be, I think, the Phoenix is still a little flexible. I think the Olacor will be playing Lion, and King Jungles will be playing Phoenix. And then I'm not sure if that'll be
10
40R
seconds
or
remain.
sorry, yeah, it's written as 40R right now. I always get thrown off because it's
5
ADR for
seconds.
Adriano, but I digress.
We all get thrown off on that one.
And there's still that flexibility too for
Return
Kostabi
to
lane.
ban.
But I think what Jenkins was saying in the last series, Tiny 1 is just better than a Tiny 2 at this time.
That makes sense. Just because you just have more guaranteed farming patterns, not necessarily farming patterns, but like you have a better time getting last hits without being contested.
Right.
Like it's easier for your support generally to cover you, whereas if you're mid, it's like things can go
5
bad, and if you get behind,
seconds
that's going to start
remain.
feeling really bad. And you're closer to jungle camps that are worth more, so and you can get away with like pulling and stuff like that. I like the Mirana pick. Another thing is just is the Phoenix solution, because now you have one guy that's gonna be able to hit the egg well. Everybody else on Team Spirit, not the best. Team Ember's okay because he can get there quick, but gives them some solution there. And yeah, just having Mirana Ember Spirit, great setup as well. They didn't really have great setup. That's not true. Elder Titan is going to be able to do sleep arrows. You can do Ravage arrows, of course, in the mid and late game when you're playing near
10
him.
seconds
But Slight Change is the
remaining.
easiest one. With that said, SG's Doom pick is great too.
5
Dooming Ember Spirit
seconds.
is the goal. Or you could Doom Tidehunter. That could be really good too. Be aggressive, hit those back lines, slap around Elder Titan, limit his damage. All really good options. But I like both drafts. They both have really good things about them. They have solutions against each other. Neither of them looks really one-sided to me so far. They got Lion is against Ember as well, so they've got Doom and other disables.
Oh, baby.
Okay, I don't... Was this a first? Was this on the list?
I don't know if that was on the list. Check the list.
I
Check the list.
I haven't looked at the list. I'm going to have to
I'm
scroll.
not sure if we've seen an Arc Warden yet, but I'm liking it.
It does look pretty good here. It's going to be able to get some separation between Tiny. That's usually the big thing. It's like, can you stay away from Tiny? If so, then everything's going to be solid.
5 seconds remain.
It is the first Arc Warden? Okay, it is the first Arc Warden. Great. Very cool. Oh, there it is. Nope, I don't necessarily believe you. I see stats from 11:36 a.m. where he's not on the list. It may not be the first, but either way, there haven't been many, if there have been. So, cool to see him. With that said, Slark doesn't look fun to play against. If I'm Arc Warden, it's another guy that can get on top of you, and generally will be able to deal with you. But I've seen a lot of Slark bans typically when there's a tide in the game, but this game Collapse is going to have to take the matchup that almost everybody bans out.
I always feel like whenever it's a good Slark pick and BSJ is in the building, you hear him yelling, and I do not hear him yelling. So I'm a little concerned. It does make sense, though, right? It does make sense when you're up against something very, very tanky. You want to steal those fishy stats, as you like to call them. But I guess on the flip side, like, the lockdown's a little bit light, right? You take a look at what they've got going on. You know, you've got the stomp, but if
10
you're fast enough,
seconds
can
remaining.
totally dodge that. You have to land that arrow pretty convincingly.
Yep.
5
Ember Spirit
seconds
can
remain.
put on the slight, but if you're fast enough, like Slark is one of those heroes that is pretty slippery to get their hands on.
It's a good Slark game, definitely. Covers a lot of bases here. So safe lane Arc Warden, he's going to be laning against a Doom, and that's pretty good for him. Doom plus Lion. decent disable, so they're going to be able to. It kind of goes both ways. If Doom is running at Arc Warden, it's kind of scary for Arc Warden. If Doom is a little bit separated and Elder Titan's up there slapping him, the Arc Warden's going to have a nice time. Just slap down the Flux and get a lot of right clicks in on Doom. So they should be able to harass quite a bit.
All right. So what are you feeling? Who is going to be stronger? Right now, I'm gotta say I'm leaning towards Team Spirit because they have meta heroes, but they also have very comfortable heroes.
Yeah, I agree with that a lot. The Arc Warden's the weirdest one, but it should be fine. They're not too many of them are that squishy either, but it is nice that they could have tiny, like potentially Avatos backwards in Arc Warden. That could be a really nice thing to do, but it all comes down to how safely Atoro plays. Like how much is he frontline with his clone versus his main hero. Those are the kind of mistakes that like get Arc Warden quite behind, is if you die a couple times in the mid game or get pressured too much, that kind of thing. So, I mean, SG Esports lineup is kind of cool though. There's good things about it. Their hero matchups are good. The Slark is pretty happy. If he can win his lane, that would be really good. Get a couple kills on Collapse. It's going to be hard because the guy's a very good player, but he uses the best voice lines. Oh, why are you looking at me like that? He does use the best voice lines. It's undeniable. Just because he doesn't use your voice line doesn't mean he's not good at voice lines. Anytime. Anytime. Go ahead.
Bias caster, since he uses your voice line.
And so can you in the crowd. Honestly, I'm really impressed with his voice line usage.
Yeah, it's actually been on point, to be fair.
Spirited away.
We do have a short little break here because TeamSpeak apparently is having a couple issues. This is, of course, SG's last series and potentially their last series in this tournament. So a lot on the line coming out. If they're eliminated, there will only be one.
There it is, baby. He doesn't even know I'm
Thank
here.
you. Thank
Wait,
you
maybe he
for-
does, because he was in the lobby, of course.
Thank you for interrupting my little monologue I had going
I'm just going
on.
to say it anytime you start talking.
SA hater
Honestly,
over here. I'm
I'm a-
talking about
honestly,
SG.
There it
And
is.
you're in.
See, he knows. He knows.
Anyways,
It
if
was very
SG
timely.
is if they are eliminated, there's only one Brazilian player left to carry the hope of Brazil, and that's of course Lelis over on.
I mean, frankly, I'm just really biased towards Team Spirit right now, because that's they've got one player that uses my voice line. I want him to go as far as possible. Spam that shit. It's going to collect me a couple dollars a day, I bet.
I would give you a couple dollars to just stop right now.
Just stop talking about my voice line. I only take 250 bribes right now, guys. That's how
250.
this works.
All right. Well, we've already, I believe we have a award that was removed. So we've got the one
Yes.
CS there.
I think it was a sentry, actually. Because they crossed, blocked the small camp. They already had an observer ward on the cliff, so that's how they were able to deal with that. Yatoro went for spark rates just to get a little bit of information. Just didn't quite give them everything they wanted. A little fighting for bounties, though.
Yep. Arrow whiffing here will make sure that SG is able to grab.
Well, that's good.
Oh, they actually go 3 bounties. All right.
It's interesting that it's felt very rare, actually, that bounties go more to one team than the other. Maybe it's just the TI thing that everyone's just kind of scared a little bit. They're like, I don't want to mess up. It's just safer if I just take our 2 and 2. Don't want to mess around. Could be that. So Tide plus Murano. Murano will be able to secure the lane for Tide generally. This is one nice thing about him being against Slark, is that no matter what happens, the range creep's going to get arrow generally, unless KJ blocks it. That is. There's the arrow.
They really need to change that voice line.
Son of a?
Yeah, it makes no sense.
Oh, because you're choosing arrow creeps.
Yeah, because you're literally, that is your actual target.
Yeah, but that's because like when they wrote Murana's voice lines in the year 2010, they were like, arrowing creeps is bad. These are for heroes, you know? That's the thing.
I know, but I'm saying that they should update it.
Yeah. I'm sure Valve will put that on the list.
I can do a pretty good Murano voice line.
They'll just have to program the game to know exactly whether it was a good arrow or a bad arrow. That's all. Then
Oh,
everything
yeah,
will be
no,
fine.
that's easy, right? Easy peasy. They got it. I mean, if they can program this old-timey music into Arc Warden's Taunt, pretty sure they could probably, you know, I don't know. I guess I'm asking for too much.
Yeah.
I'm happy to be here. I'm glad I'm included.
Very happy to be here, Valve, please. No criticism.
But yeah, I'm interested to see how this Arc Warden is going to end up working. Just because it isn't a hero that we see too often. It's usually very specialized circumstances.
Yeah. I do like it with the Elder Titan, though. It's just a lot of beefy dude that can be in front of you. The other thing is they don't have like the strongest dual lane. It's a Doom and a Lion. Like, they've got some disable. Doom's gonna farm, but like it's a bit of a passive lane, so they can get away with it. If it's like a scary IG or OG dual lane where they like absolutely dumpster you traditionally, then yeah, sure. I wouldn't feel comfortable playing Arc Warden there, so you're gonna get ran at.
Briga de ruins. Qual a graça disso? Briga de ruins. Qual a graça disso?
They're definitely showing off their own voice lines here.
They are
Toss back though, coming out from 4DR.
not able to get under tower though, so not a big deal. But a little pressure. 12 and 3 on Tiny, so they're pretty even. 11 and 0 for Ember, so everything's fine there.
I enjoy seeing some of the pathing for couriers. Like, just saw this little guy just wandering on through the mid lane.
That looks like an actual hero, that Owlbear.
That's why I had a moment where I was like, what
He's
the?
huge. It looks like a Warcraft 3 model or something.
Yeah.
Isn't this a Valve courier? I can't remember.
I caught it, guys, right at the very end.
Billingsley Loftright wouldn't have died. That's for sure. That's the name of that courier we were just looking at. A very strong name. Way better than Drew.
Wait, what is it again?
Billingsley something or other.
Bill, you've already forgotten.
Yeah, I told you, my
Where'd he
memory is
go?
poor. Billingsley
Oh, he's
Loftright.
very cute. Oh, it's an owl and a pussycat.
I
Aww.
thought, whoa. Whoa. I can't see them.
What?
Oh,
Some
the courier.
nursery rhyme. There it is. There's the first courier getting sniped by Mira. This guy's a courier slayer. You'll be seeing a lot of that. Usually, you know what they do is they actually place a ward over here during like DPC and other. They would place a ward to keep tabs on those couriers, so that way they could keep, you know, find the easy openings if necessary.
Yeah, it's very popular in the pubs, all right. Get those easy courier snipes. That one costs him 2 leap charge, which is kind of expensive, but it's fine. He's going to heal up. He's almost got his urn finished.
The next level, the next level.
KJ's doing a great job harassing him. They're going to maybe play for the runes together, but with Mirana's HP being a lot lower, this is kind of dangerous to do. He might have to do something else instead, like pressure Slark potentially. But
I mean, I don't think they're too worried about the runes
he
here.
got there late. Yeah, they're fine anyways.
Yeah. Toronto Tokyo already was making that rotation fairly early on, so.
Yeah, he delayed KJ enough where it didn't matter as much, so it kind of got the best of both worlds. Clap's doing great, 20 and 2 versus the 19 and 2 of Slark. So they don't have to worry too much about this matchup so far. Maybe if there's a different 5-position hero than Phoenix, they could go on him harder. Somebody has like kind of typical disable, maybe would allow Claps to get aggressive there, but for now he's had a nice time.
I feel like this is a fairly quiet lane, so to speak, because the Tidehunter tends to be, yep, there's the arrow onto KJ. You have the Flame Spirits. It's pretty hard to kill a Tidehunter. And on the flip side of that, it's not the easiest thing to kill a Slark with the heroes that they have necessarily within the lane. So I feel like this one's going to be more of a wash than anything else.
Yeah, and that's good for the Tide because you don't want to lane against the Slark normally. So as long as you don't give Slark all this like free agi, not that it's like the biggest deal in the world, but you know, a couple agi points is damage and attack speed. It helps. Less armor for Tide, I guess, which is not that big of a deal, but it's a tiny amount. But they're actually doing a good job pressuring Slark. He used a lot of mana in that last go. The pounce just to delay the TP basically. But Clap's having a good one. In the mid lane, anything different? A little bit less last hits for Toronto, but not by much.
Yeah, 40R getting that 6 online just a little bit faster. Nice thing though about, 1 second. Tabo's taking a lot of harass here. Very nice Earth Spike from Theolacore. It's going to give him just enough time to run away. Maposhka not going to be able to finish off Tabo.
Weird skill build online actually went 1 point Earth Spike, 2 points Hex.
40R makes his own rotations. Got to catch up to Maposhka, lands the Avalanche. They're just not going to be able to quite finish up. And this is giving Yatoro enough time to hide over in this tree line, so they cannot get this gank off on him. Just farm up the creeps anyways.
I don't like the skill build, but it's probably just like a really minor thing. It won't matter as time goes on. It's fine.
Oh, Mira though finding the kill on KJ.
Sniped another courier.
What?
It's Phoenix is a courier joke.
Phoenix is not a courier.
It's not that funny.
I like Phoenix.
I know.
That's not very nice.
If it was a different hero, you'd have been like, ha 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 ha. But because that's your favorite hero, you're like, Oh no.
It's not my favorite
You're Phoenix
hero.
biased. All
I
right,
am
it's your
Phoenix
top 3.
biased. Yeah, I do. All right, that's fine. That's fine. I'll admit to that. Middle lane, though, a lot of pressure being placed here. Toronto, Tokyo, going right past this tower. Mira in position. If they can find an opening, if they can get the slight off, perhaps.
Just trying to get this free harassing. Cuts the creep wave, and now buys time for another creep wave to come here. Catapult's going to get Fire Spirit, though. This is like the one solution, actually.
Yeah.
It's going to save a lot of tower damage. But KJ not using his last one. He gets zoned by Toronto, Tokyo, and the damage continues. Pretty good damage being dealt here.
What's happening in the back? I just see
Yeah.
Maposhka chasing Theolacor. Like, that was not something I was expecting to see right now.
It's kind of cool to see supports rotate over in these moments, right, though? Because you don't
yeah.
really know what's going to happen, but if it does provide, like, a gank opportunity or a time to fight, like, he'll be in the area, so you can actually contribute. So it's good to just do those rotations sometimes.
Got a fight about to break out. Arrow doesn't quite connect.
Yeah, it's going to...
No, the leap forward from Mira. They need to smart and can't quite get their hands on it, even though they have the Sun Ray. The toss up with the burb. That's
My kill. That's what he says. Throws him in. Oh, that was a good one. I was like, oh, he's going to die to Sunray. He's like, nope.
Nope.
I want that.
I mean, can you blame him? Also has Theolacor deliver his water. He's got the bottle service going on. This is a pampered mid player.
That's all of them, mostly. Oh, Toronto, Tokyo taking the DD. He's really just being a thorn in their side. Feels like he's taken everything he wants so far this game.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
Maybe you should just drop the briefcase on them in that moment, you know? You can't like get the full swing, but it looks pretty heavy. I guess it's like a glove.
A glove? What?
Yeah, it's his immortal thing, with the fingers and stuff.
Oh, he's got the, yeah, he doesn't have the briefcase. He's got the,
But it definitely looks about as heavy as the glove.
it does. It
Or
does.
the briefcase.
He's a very strong type.
And gets a D ward as well. The other one timed out, I think, so everything looking pretty solid for Team Spirit, but the game's very even.
Yatoro has been doomed. They do pick the correct target, so.
Okay.
Oh, they denied him. Oh, they denied him. Oh my goodness. I'm sorry, my brain's like trying to look at everything
Ooh.
going on.
That's very good. Oh, the DD. That makes it pretty easy, I
Yeah.
suppose, in the early game. Yeah, Doom's got high damage, but that's going to make the difference. Really nice. So basically no experience for Doom. He doesn't get gold, and they get the
Doom down.
Theolacor, and Doom's down, and they
Yeah.
get the support kill on the other side. So that was really great for Team Spirit. Now they're just going to see Toronto, Tokyo farm aggressively. Mira's going to catch up in levels in the mid lane. This is super efficient for them. He's going to take some farm off the map for the enemies, and depending on where they move for their rotations, he'll be closer to both lanes as a result. This is like a nice, efficient way for Toronto, Tokyo to play. Gank's coming bot, though.
Is indeed the toss up into the air over onto Yatoro. Gets more damage out. This
Huge.
time he's not going to be able to get denied.
This is a fast blink, but I think that's why Yatoro wasn't expecting to be worried on that side of the map, because they just had vision, and boom, they get the toss back. Toss back on Arc Warden feels rough. It's 285 movement speed. He almost always buys farming items first. He went Midas. He's going for Maelstrom after. This is a great window for SG to abuse.
KJ going to try to cancel out the clarity. The follow-up. They don't have, oh my goodness. Theolacor's only level 4. Not going to be able to put out enough damage and harass to take out Toronto, Tokyo. But Tavo does find a kill on Maposhka in the bottom lane.
Yep, with help from Tiny, another Avatos being thrown down. Yeah, they could have hexed the Ember, but like they knew they weren't going to get the kill. Save the mana. It's not worth spending it. Instead, they swing back to the bot lane. So they've gotten all these kills bottom, but it has taken them quite a bit of time to take the tower. That's the downside. But I like that Tiny's still hanging out here, basically, because he's going to be able to help kill whoever else tries to come again. And with the catapult, it's going to take a bit longer for these creeps to get there. He's going to have to Scorch Earth this to push it if he wants to.
Yeah, they really don't have very elegant solutions to pushing towers over on the side of SG.
Until 40 minutes and Tiny's going to be a monster,
Yes,
like
but
we
that-
see every game. But yeah,
yeah.
right now, yeah, it's a struggle.
It's not like they're going to quickly accelerate, but we do have some movement going on into the mid lane for DR. Looking for anyone they can get their hands on. They do spot out the courier making its way across, though. Just a little bit of waste of time, feels like. While on the top lane, Team Spirit will be able to get the tier 1 tower.
Mirror zone out Slark a bit. He does have his Echo Saber now with the old piggy pull. So he's a pigfish. That's probably a
That
real
works.
thing. I'm sure
A
there's
pigfish?
actually a pigfish in real life.
Probably.
Has to be. If not in our language, some language.
Probably. There's got to be a fish that's got like a snout-looking sort of deal going on.
Stomp there, tries to kill the catapult. That was kind of cool from Oposhka, actually. He stomps the creep wave so that they don't get aggroed by creeps, and the catapult just gets power. It's kind of a cool way to deal with that, a little bit safer. But they pop a smoke. They want to take a fight now. There is a haste rune on Ember. This is pretty good. But look where Tiny's standing. He could easily break the smoke. They scan it, though, so they're going to go wider. And now they've got even ground. They're going to be able to see their opponents, and they're going to spot Tavo, most likely. He just used Scorched Earth as well, so him escaping, not very likely if they jump on him.
He is showing on the way. There's definitely going to be a play here. Ace comes out from Toronto, Tokyo, throwing out the Remnant, goes right on over, get the stomp, but the follow with the Starstorm Mira will be the one who gets the kill.
Great place to fight for Team
Smoked
Spirit.
over on the side of SG, but look how fast they're backing out now. They're like, oh, there is so much more over here. There is a Tide Hunter, though. Perhaps they can make some moves on Collapse, toss back underneath the tower. Gonna immediately get stunned, follow with the Avalanche. They even go and use the egg. Arrow will land, and they manage to get the Ravage of Collapse. He's
alive.
still alive. He's just able to walk away. And they'll follow up. They get the kill on Theolacor King Jungles. He wants a kill so bad. Gets the kill on Mira. But that Tiny is too dang tanky. He had some help from his friends to stay alive.
That
And
was.
they burned quite a bit.
I can't believe he survived that. I thought he was so far away from his whole team.
4DR. Pavo getting held into place here. He does
Doom.
have the Doom available. He's going to go with the Stomp. Trying to see who he can find. Sleeps over on 4DR. Look at these procs. Oh my goodness. The Sunray comes out, saves them. A little bit longer. Slide forward. Toss up into the air. There's a nice stomp from Tavo. Are they going to make it out? That arrow? No, he dodges right around Toronto Tokyo, the bottling through. He wants this kill very badly. He's just going to go eat himself a creep on his way out. Might have a passive Midas, though, because he is indeed dead.
Nice fight there by Team Spirit, just really pushing their limits. Toronto Tokyo in the front ate the Ava toss, didn't do that much damage to him, and then they just kind of like sat at their limits. Got nice stomp, got more Syrian chains. Toronto Tokyo stayed invulnerable most of that time to just buy time to get SG low enough where they just didn't feel comfortable dooming anymore. Like, he definitely could have doomed Toronto Tokyo after that stun, but they just knew that they had to run away. So once again, they just put SG in a bad place and pushed their limits, getting an advantage. Oh, and Tide also had an Arcane Rune when he Ravaged before,
Oh, that's
so
even better.
he's
Even better for
basically ready to go now. I like his itemization. He's going Hood, Phase into Sanch, and then Halberd. By doing so, lots of status resistance, and then if he does get doomed, it's a better chance he actually survives through it. It's a cool choice.
I think Collapse is probably one of the standout players on the side of Team Spirit. We're seeing the rise of a lot of offliners recently, right? Like, Collapse has been getting a lot of love. Old 11 obviously has always had a lot of love. And then, of course, Whisper on Beast Coast. People are finally starting to see why this kid's so good.
Yeah, I think it's really, it's easier now in Dota to stand out as an offlaner because you don't have to sacrifice all the time. So it's like you do have net worth and levels to play with if you play really well consistently, you know? Another smoke coming. Oh.
Jump forward, Maposhka. It's looking a little bit dead. Sunray coming through. Mira still has a couple hops, but she hops right over into the Theolacor. So this Marana. It's going to be a double kill here for Tavo. Collapse getting in position. I'm not sure if they want to necessarily go in on this.
I mean,
They
they
have
got
the
Blink
Arc
again.
Warden. They've got the vision, though, up on the high ground. Jump forward. Avatos right back here over onto Tavo. And he's got the bubble up. It's going to be the egg, followed up with the Ravage. No egg pop this time. And
He's
it looks
alive?
like Tavo is going to go down. Yatro as well. 4DR still fighting. Constabile joining into the fight somehow. 4DR still alive. Flab's trying to get over. They'll be able to just bottle up and through again. Constabile building up these stacks. He is a little scared, though. He's going to back off.
They tried to kill that ward on the cliff really fast, but Arc Warden didn't realize the danger he was in, so he gets tossed back. But surprisingly, you know, having the double Tempest double, amazing against the Phoenix Egg. It feels like almost PL-esque. You just run in this case, attack in from far away, get that kill before he dies, force the Lion Finger to finish him off, and good fighting from Team Spirit still. Ravage was used, though, so that's going to hurt him a bit, and Yotaro has been dying enough to make his net worth trajectory less good than ideal, but hey, he's still way on top actually, so he's pretty happy.
Is under attack.
More aggression coming out from the side of SG. Theolacor hiding on the side. Mira does have a couple of these leaps left, but the Avatos up into the air means that SG's not going to be able to do it.
Nicely done. The power of Lion. Disables are great. They buy your team time to get there to finish off those kill setups you got.
So SG starting to play more on the bottom side of the map, trying to take away the jungle from Team Spirit. That is something that is obviously very, very important when you have an arc ward. We'll take down the Tempest double as well.
That was a little costly. He wanted to go Midas, and he got it off, but then he's giving his opponents 240 gold. Ooh. Kind of a lot. Reverse Midas. And Sark is still farming pretty good, 7,500. Does he do anything weird item-wise? He can go for Axe this game, actually. Kind of cool. Haven't seen it in a bit, but gives you 2 pounces. Your pounce distance becomes really high. It just becomes a lot easier for you to initiate and counter-initiate, or to escape, basically. You go in, you launch yourself out. It's easier to escape and play safe.
I mean, that's one thing that we discussed during the draft, right, is that it's pretty light on lockdown for Team Spirit. Has to be kind of chain disables, and Slark is one of those heroes that really thrives on that. But as I say that, Arrow comes into place, and that's some chain disable, as they also went with the Earth Splitter. Or Split Earth, sorry, my bad.
They're doing such a good job pressuring Tavo all the time. He does have Midas. It's off cooldown right now, unfortunately for him. But even just killing him and interrupting Devour is a big deal, because like that creep that you're eating also dies in your belly. And if it doesn't get digested, that's 200 gold. That's huge. So that gank isn't just a Doom kill. It's like worth an extra 200 on top of that, or at least half of that. Big pick off. Blink now for Theolacor on the line. Very much needed, but he's been doing a good job so far, setting up disables. Just got to keep going.
Yeah, I mean, I would say that he's definitely, his positioning has been very key to a lot of the kills that have been happening in the moves around the map. Especially if he's able to kind of scout out like he did earlier with the Mirana hiding in the trees. Just buying 40R enough time to get over there and land his combination.
And that's what they're doing, keeping vision on the map, looking for opportunities. Everybody farms max efficiency. Collapse pushes out and pressures the mid lane, so that there's a low chance that he gets killed if he gets gone on. Again, getting Doomed would be dangerous for him, but he still procs Kraken Shell with Doom on him. So generally, he should still be able to keep running. I think that's one of the reasons he opted for this Windlace as well, and didn't get Blink. Better chance of surviving here.
Theolacor landing immediately, putting some pressure over onto Toronto Tokyo, waiting for the rest of the team to show up as Kasabile is thrown up into the air with the arrow. It's a bit dangerous. Look at the damage over onto Theolacor. He's just gone. Okay. Oh my. Collapse, look at this. They've got the Moonlight Shadow. They don't have any detection currently on the ground. Pressure being placed onto Kasabile. Got this big, tanky Tide Hunter in your face, ready to ravage at any time. SG has to play this so carefully. In fact, they're just going to make a full-on retreat. Spark Wraiths are just doing a lot of damage over to Kasabile. They've got the bubble up over on the Tempest double. Ran out of creeps. They're on their way. It does buy a little bit of time.
They've used very little resources, though. Just Moonlight Shadow, basically. And the way they reacted to that was great. I mean, Toronto Tokyo gets chain disabled. Slark was there to land the pounce follow-up, but he gets Euled in the air. They land the arrow afterwards, which gets dispelled, but ultimately it's just about protecting their cores and giving themselves good circumstance to pressure the tower. And that's what they did. They backed up, they popped smoke, and now they're going to take their own aggressive fight.
A lot of pings coming out here as they're trying to get into position. The rune spawns, so they're hoping someone's going to get greedy. It is indeed the Phoenix. They grab the Arcane, land the arrow, land the Starstorm, land the killing blows.
That's cool. But I get why Phoenix has to go for that dive.
Yes.
It's crazy. It's an Arcane Rune. Arcane Rune on any Spirit hero is glorious. Makes it so much more able to play aggressive. He popped it pretty early, so you know they can avoid the fight or whatever, but slight chains every 7 seconds, that's powerful stuff. Collapse gonna get real aggressive though. Hello, I'm in the enemy jungle. He's actually here by himself.
Yeah.
But he's thrown spells down to make them think like he might have to get
Maybe
doomed.
they're smoked behind or something, because some of them are
Exactly.
not showing on the map currently.
And none of them are showing. There's a ward behind the tier 1 tower, but maybe they catch him, but that there's no way to like bluff check him. So they just have to walk away. Doom stops farming, it all just affects things. He could have had a creep devoured by now.
Yeah, the mind games are actually unreal when you think about the way that Spirit and Collapse are just able to walk their bodies right at them, show no fear.
And in the meantime, Toronto Tokyo split pushes the other side of the map, jumps back to his teammates now, so it doesn't actually put their team in that much vulnerability. And Yutoro is going to clear many creep waves, get some more tower damage in on the top tower without losing much here. Oh, did he get it? He did. Theolacor jumps in with the Impale. It got low enough, so he gets the 240 gold. That feels good.
So Little lion does enjoy getting actual net worth. It's always sad when he doesn't have what he needs. All right, let's see. What are we looking at for Yatoro here? Working on the BKB. That's the next item. Toronto, Tokyo, same thing. They're really looking to start being even more aggressive with these pickups.
They're coming for him, though. They're planning ahead. They know where he's going to be. But it's probably... Oh, no, he did send his clone top. That means
They know
he's
exactly where he is then.
maybe going to be the guy hitting this. We'll see how dangerous he plays.
Look at this. Look at the way, though. He knows. Like, he's hiding in the tree line. He's like, I don't know where anyone is. I just set my illusion top.
He got the tower.
And yeah, look at this. Now they're not going to be able to get him. Now they're going to have to go. They do see the courier. They know that Miras in this area. Stabile continues. We'll get the kill on the courier. Continues to creep forward. Runs first inside Hunter, not the ideal top subject.
The Ags is ready on Slark, very mobile here. Gives Roche a little fish slap on the head. But if they just can't find their opponents to force a fight, it's difficult. And they will have BKB soon on Arc Warden. It's not like the perfect item, but it is the most ideal here. Clone will again be the one that scouts, goes farms all the really aggressive places on the map. And yeah, while he's giving up some gold sometimes when his clone dies, it just still feels pretty solid for Team Spirit. This time though, he's close to him. They see him. No BKB.
They want him. They got to get there faster though.
Needs to whip himself. Oh, they saw where his last position was.
Look at the TPs though. Look at the TPs coming. They have to be careful. The rest of the team, they're going to protect him. Didn't quite manage to get the dust. Moonlight Shadows here. Collapse, moving in, spies himself a couple of heroes, manages to land the Ravage over onto 3, the arrow coming in right over onto 4DR. They pop that BKB, 4DR taking too much damage. The Sunray, it was nice, but it's not going to be enough. It's Theo the Core already falling. Tavo will have to teleport out in King Jungles. No, they're able to go and land the chains. It's a dead Phoenix.
That looked a little hairy there for Team Spirit, but they managed it. Arc Warden gets out just in time. And it was so, it's like one of those bait moments, right? Where it's like, it's so close to your opponent, so like, oh, this is an opportunity. But he gets out, he runs to the right after being visible there. Dust misses him, and that gives him the opportunity to not only like turn the fight, but he also got to interrupt the Blink Dagger online right away. Throws down the Flux, drops down the Spirit. That guarantees the Stomp from a Poshka, the Ravage hits line, and it just like takes so much utility out of the fight right away for them. So Team Spirit just gets a super one-sided team fight and more time to farm on Arc Warden.
Can we talk about how fluid Team Spirit's movements are? They immediately, right, so you have an Arc Warden in the bottom lane, you're pushing the top, you see that your Arc Warden is possibly going to get initiated upon, immediately teleport down to the bottom lane, and then from there, save your Arc Warden, take a great fight, use the Ravage, and then immediately take a tower. Like that, I don't think you get much more efficient than that. That's really beautiful. Like,
I don't even know how Tide got such a monster Ravage without a Blink Dagger, is the other thing.
He just
like,
walked.
He was like standing next to 3 heroes. I just assumed, I was like, oh,
he
yeah, of course.
He was Invis.
Tide,
they did
right?
have the Moonlight Shadow, don't forget.
Oh, that's right. You're right. Okay, that was.
So like he was running. I think they knew he was there, but they might have lost tabs on.
Yeah.
This time though, of course, they don't have that Ravage, so Stabile gonna get some of these clicks off. The Arc Warden making his way over. They'll doom up the Tide, pouncing forward again. BKB over onto Yatoro. He's got the bubble. They'll get the egg off. The Olacor will fall. Nice stomp though over onto Collapse. Have to turn their attention out to Yatoro. They'll be able to get that kill. King Jungle's still falling, and so does Stabile to Yatoro. Toronto, Tokyo following up. He's going to be the cleanup crew with the rest of the squad, and they get the slide off, get the kill on Tavo. Waiting patiently now for 4DR. It's a triple kill now for Yatoro.
And he just lost his clone. That was the only detriment to them there. I mean, Tide, with this net worth advantage, is perfect against Doom. He gets doomed. He's got status resistance reduction from Halberd. He's got extra regen. So he's regenning off the Doom damage. Doom can chase him. He can hit him with, like, Infernal Blades, but if he takes too much damage, it Krakens that off anyways. So like, if it isn't Slark on top of Tide while he's doomed, you're not killing the guy. All you're doing is buying time. And frankly, using Doom on him didn't feel that great because he didn't have Ravage anyways. So it's like, I don't know. Felt a little weird. Great Stomp, that was the other crucial thing. Great Stomp on the Slark. Slark didn't have Dark Pact available when that Stomp hit, so he was also disabled for a long amount of time. Sleep against Slark, perfect, because you don't want to deal with him until later. Everything going Team Spirit's way here. 12k gold advantage. Aegis now in Arc Warden. He's almost got an Orchid of his own, so he's going to definitely be a threat against Slark as the team fights continue.
And now you have to be very scared about the next engagement because Collapse has a Ravage back up. So positioning here going to be very key for the side of SG so they don't all get hit.
Dire's middle tower
Playing the
is
bot
under
side of the map
attack.
for now, which will give them some coverage here.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Interesting with the flux damage for Arcward. Has been buffed a lot, but just a little surprised. It's kind of cool though. Does 160. It's like 200 extra damage. That's a lot. Pretty good when you get 2 of them against heroes. He's going to defend with his clone once again. Magnetic Field, look at that extra attack speed talent that he got too. His tower's zipping.
Pressure being placed, he immediately dropped the Spark Wraith. Fortification comes out, Bubble will be used. Rest of the SG is not here yet. Collapse, look how much he can just frontline here. He's so incredibly tanky. He has completed up the Lotus Orb. King Jungle's trying to just toss out some of these Flame Spirits, trying to slow them down at all. The Core getting into position. Does have the blink, but the second that he shows up, he just gets blown up. They don't have a way to silence up Collapse at this time. They're just continuing to smack away over on these buildings.
They don't have blink on. That's really going to hurt him here. 50 gold away, and he could blink and doom him, and maybe the fight goes okay, but right now it looks tough. Sentry's down, Tavo shows.
Over onto Tavo. He's not going to be able to throw out any dooms right now. Nice stomp over onto 2.
He doesn't want a BKB here. Oh.
Doesn't want to. Oh,
He can't die though.
He's chasing. He wants it so bad. Nah, they'll end up losing the Tempest double, but they end up taking a full tower and racks. Collapse considered. Look at him. He's like thinking, like, do you want to go back in?
It's like
Guys?
I could leave, but there's a creep wave here that I would love to farm, and he will get it.
And now it looks like they've made the decision to back off. They'll toss out a casual arrow, just try to get a little vision, trying to get them off of their ward. Why not on the way out?
They're just pushing it so well, right? Collapse
Yeah.
in the front. They've got the main arc ward and hitting the tower as well. And then when they feel a little comfortable, they run Ember Spirit forward. They run the clone forward. They run the Spirit forward. Those kind of things to try to interrupt SG's ability to initiate.
Stabile is visible, followed up with the Ravage. They're trying to get the Slark out in time, but they can't. They just slide through and get the kill on both of them. 40R now, tied to the ground practically. He's next to go. Mira's on the hunt, wants the Core. The Core getting the blink. The splitter gets dropped, not going to be able to quite finish up.
That was
There was a
really
buyback
close.
on the Slark, though. Oh.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Hopefully not just us.
Oh, no.
I mean, hopefully just us.
Yes, that is warning, connection problem.
See, guys, this is what happens when Slack's at your event. He wants to cast so bad that he just pulls plugs sometimes.
Yeah, he
when he's not
actually-
getting his
oh.
way. That's how it works.
He actually was a bit upset with me because I told him that Jenkins was joining us for this TriCast.
I mean, he would have been great to have too.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Somehow more chaos, though.
The problem is whenever I work with Slacks, oh, we cannot read. Oh, uh-oh. The problem when I work with Slacks tends to be that he starts yelling at me, and then I start yelling at him, and then the volume levels just keep getting higher and higher. Because he's always like, Maxi! And then I'm like, Jake! And we just yell back and forth the entire time. We start mimicking each other's voices. It's horrible.
This does sound like a great time. Could you just double check that you actually have
I
internet?
will try.
Is it Steam
says
or
offline mode.
I know, but like open a
Oh,
web
the
browser.
lights went red. Oh,
Uh-oh.
dear.
That means
Danger.
that means there's
That's
a
a
surprise
calendar.
coming
That's not
from
what I
Valve.
meant to-
It
No,
does.
we have no internet access.
Okay, so basically no one can see this.
Cool. I've always
Possibly.
hated you.
Everything we say right now matters.
Everything. Literally everything.
My favorite team is not here.
Really? What is your favorite team?
I mean, I'm OG biased, obviously. Everybody.
We had a
I
conversation
like
actually about that the other day.
I like Tundra a lot. I think Tundra was really cool. They play kind of similar style, like crazy mid heroes that are supports or just do they do like funky stuff. I really like that. I think it's entertaining and fun to watch. You know.
Is anybody actually seeing this right now? Is
Not
the
sure.
question, or are we just
Not sure.
talking to like?
Yo, this game was so great.
Yeah.
I gotta say. What was happening? Winning, mostly winning.
I mean, Team Spirit. This is one thing that like they've done consistently well since DPC is that once they hit a certain stride, everything just becomes very fluid. It almost looks like a dance a little bit to me, which I know sounds a little funny, but just their movements become so fluid in the way that they will take these fights and then immediately find some sort of objective and engagement to just kind of pivot to. And it's never like a situation where you see them kind of like they break up a little bit and then they immediately just all together as a group. It's almost like a hive mind.
Yeah, it's very important to do this, and that's what makes Dota so hard as a 5v5 game, is that you have to be on the same page as your teammates, and you all have to make good decisions, and you have to read your opponents well. Just so many small things. And the fact that Team Spirit's been able to do this is really impressive to me.
Yeah.
So happy to see them do well. That last fight was so one-sided too. Slark must have gotten caught outside of Dark Pack. The Ravage came and somehow then there was follow-up damage. ET was probably in there too. I don't know, lowering their magic resistance because they died so fast, so fast.
They
But
did. They
I don't
did.
think Slark is BKB yet. He went Ags. Maybe he had BKB. Maybe he bought Shadowblade first because he maybe thought he wanted break against the Tide. Not sure. That's all I got.
Yeah. I mean, SG, the only Brazilian team to make. I was actually kind of worried about that for a while because I covered the South American scene for a very long time. It's a region very near and dear to my heart. And I wasn't seeing a lot of progress happening within the Brazilian scene, unfortunately. You had that massive run from Pain Gaming where they just started, you started to see an SA team on the rise, right?
Was that with Cat back in the day?
No, not Cat.
I just remember one TI that Cat played at, I think. Anyways, continue.
No, that was HFN, that was Tavo, King RD, like that group. At all? Oh, excellent. Well, I hope that you were entertained at the very least. Well, that was unexpected. Apparently, we had a little snafu with the internet, but we are indeed back up and running, and the teams were playing from the hotel, so it was perfectly fine for them. They continued to play, and I believe it was Team Spirit who clinched out that victory. But I was telling Purge here, I just imagine like an epic ending to that game, right?
Yeah, well, we really have no idea. We're gonna have to watch a replay or something. Like they probably saw like 85 people drop from the game, and they were
Yeah.
like, "Huh, weird." All right, keep playing. And then it was like probably one or two more team fights. I was thinking about it in my mind was like if that game did have to be remade, like who would you declare the victory? And I was like pretty sure that Spirit gets
Yeah,
that one
it was looking
without
pretty,
having to replay.
pretty
so.
difficult. I mean, you can't ever count a team out, but thinking, and let's see. Ticker has been updated, so it was, in fact, Team Spirit confirmed. So, yeah.
The draft is up?
Yes, the draft is indeed up. Unfortunately, it looks like SG has been eliminated due to, I believe, Quincy Crew, right? Had to win one of their games or something like that.
And SG, I believe, had to win 2 of these.
Yes, so
So
they are-
it would have been a bit of a stretch for SG to be able to make it out, unfortunately. So tough one for SA as a whole.
All right, Leslau, you are carrying the Brazilian hopes and dreams. And Beast Coast will continue
10
to do that for Peru.
Yeah.
We do have, of
5
course, though, don't forget,
seconds.
Tomato over on Team Undying. They're making one
That's
hell of a
true.
run. We have a lot of Peruvians.
Spread successfully.
A
Yeah.
lot of Peruvians. I think they're the second most represented group this TI.
Oh, that's really cool, actually. That's great. As an American, we used to be, and it's gotten worse every year. Now we're down to like 3 or
Yeah.
something.
We've got a Bolivian, too, Whisper's
Oh, that's
Bolivian.
true.
And then their coach on Beast Coast, Mariano, is Argentinian.
So we got 2 Argentinians here.
2 Argentinians?
Bruno,
Yeah. He's not playing, though.
I said here. He's here.
Okay, all right, fine.
Technically correct.
Technically.
Technically.
You have glitter on your face.
There's makeup on my face. I'm not surprised.
Where did that come from?
I don't know. Maybe.
Stop going to raves, dude.
Sorry, that's what I did. I got back at like 5 p.m. last night. I was like, gonna rave all night. And yeah, it was a good time. I haven't slept in 3 days. Is that normal? Anyways, SG Esports. There's no wall behind their back anymore. They were punched through the wall, but now they get to have fun.
Let it loose, guys. Have fun.
Radiant's turn to
Give me Theolacore on that Elder Titan. I miss it. He was such a good Elder Titan player back then. This is back when he's playing. I think he lives in Belo Horizonte, I think, in Brazil. And they have like horrible internet when the rains come. Like the internet will just go out. And I remember like just he was still
10
so good despite
seconds
having that
remaining.
ping disadvantage, and like his internet would like go out randomly and they'd have to like
5
try to get back in
seconds
the game, and they'd pause, and it's stressful. Like it was so nice to see that a lot of these guys, they made it to TI. It's obviously heartbreaking for the fans because they wanted to see them, really to go far, as every fan would like to see their team do. But I think all of us are very proud of the South American teams, even though they have been eliminated.
Hey, there's Kunka's anchor.
Man, I'm still salty about that. I'm actually so salty.
It hasn't happened
We
yet,
can't talk
technically.
about this, but I'm very mad. And then eventually you guys will know why I'm very angry about this.
We literally talked about it last with Jenkins anyway, so
It is Radiant's ban.
Oh, yeah.
it's okay though.
All right, let's see. What have we got here? We've got the Weaver, most likely going to be run as a support. The Timber Saw, which could be run in... this was also... we saw Timber Saw in our previous series with Leo Style playing at mid, and he was very
10
terrifying.
seconds
Yeah,
remain.
it's really fun to watch SA teams play Timbersaw when they're ahead. Like it's
5
cool.
seconds.
They just play the enemy side of the map. They play aggressive constantly. They break those ankles. It goes well. It was really fun. Maybe we'll get to see another one here with their capability. Just do whatever they want more or less. But try to win their game for their honor, but also for fun and practice.
It also just looks good, too, to organizations if, depending on how their contract works out. I believe SG has been... I remember they were in the scene, and then they dropped for, like, a year. And then they picked them back up
10
again.
seconds.
So, put up a good showing. Show you still have spirit.
That's
You
a
still
team.
fire.
That's a red flag. I don't know if that's a
5
relationship.
seconds
I don't know about that one.
Yeah, that is a relationship problem.
That's okay. This is about money, and money you got to make hard decisions sometimes.
Cutthroat business purge.
Not a fan of that generally, but I don't know what else to say. Let's talk about Dota. Bane is a hero that was supposed to be real good, and nobody picks it. I haven't seen like a single Bane.
There's a couple Banes.
All right, I've seen. I don't know why I said that. We've seen some Banes.
That's a red flag too. Liars.
Straight line to your face.
No.
Water is not wet. No, I thought we would see more Banes.
I thought we'd see more Vengeful Spirit. I know that you said that she did get a little nerved,
I haven't seen it.
but I have
we
not
seen
seen
any?
the offlane Vengeful Spirit. I've not seen any Vengeful Spirits
We've
in our
seen
games.
some bans. We saw a couple bans day one especially, but
Yeah.
almost no Venges.
We did
so.
see like a Dawnbreaker or two.
Yeah, and then VP played at core quite a lot and some support, but then I don't think any other team dabbled with it much.
Yeah.
All right, Rubik against Weaver is excellent. Get to go invis, that's a good time.
Get that
It's a
Shikuchi for your booty.
it's another like famous 4 position support that everybody any like really good 4-player plays Rubik and Mirana basically. So I'm sure Miro will do great on that. Some Timber Saw spells can be good to steal too,
5 seconds.
especially Charchrome. Especially because you have so much spell amp on the hero that spell amp and pure damage just feels really amazing.
There it is. There it is. Thank you. Obrigado. I'm ready.
I like it against Bane. Quite good there. Good luck Fiend's gripping. That part's gonna be hard. And a Spirit.
Yes, this is something that ADR plays quite a bit of.
You mean? Oh yeah, you're right.
4DR.
You did say it right.
I said it's technically 4DR, but they call him ADR because his name is Adriano.
Trying to throw everybody off his trail with the 4.
Yes, except everybody knows that
How
it's
many
really
years
an
did it
A.
take for everybody to realize it was an A? Because I feel like there's a
The
long
Brazilian
time.
community knew it immediately.
Yeah, of course.
I knew.
I
for
mean,
sure.
all of us
Oh, Shadow Fiend.
ignorant Westerners. That's what I meant. Shadow Fiend.
You don't have to be an ignorant Westerner, you know. You could just
It's very easy.
take
though.
a couple minutes to
It
go on
makes
Google
life so simple.
and look something up. You literally have the power of Google in your pocket. You can take out your phone,
10
a tiny computer, and look up
Mm-hmm.
anything.
What do you type? How do I pronounce 4DR?
5 seconds.
You can just look it up. You can look up, information.
Really,
on
you're
it.
adding a lot of steps
There's
to
a
this. You said,
Liquipedia.
take my phone out of my pocket and then look something up. Looking something up was very broad. There's a lot of steps in there.
Why are you guys so lazy?
It's a life skill. We've all
Oh my
perfected it.
god! I sat with Synderin and Sunspan at lunch the other day, and they were like arguing about something. They were like saying Sunspan's like, "You're lazy," and Synderin's like, "I'm not lazy. I'm just absent-minded." And then eventually, like after like a 30-minute conversation, we have deduced that Synderin is absent-minded and lazy.
Well, you can't argue with the logic if it's true.
Oh god.
10
Shadow Fiend a hero that
seconds
expected to see streaking a little bit. Pretty fun right now. Has some variable builds. We see this like you farm a lot like normal, but you usually go semi right click items, Shadow Blade type stuff. Kind of like how the hero was originally played in Dota 1 especially. It was like very common to go Shadow Blade, ulti combos type stuff with treads, and then you go like a BKB, and then there's this periods of time where you go like builds like that. You'd go Satanic to get lifesteal, or Butterfly maybe to be like the frontliner tower hitter type guy. So it's fun to see him come back into that. Like they've been buffing his attack talents for a long time because Magic Shadow Fiend had been a thing ever since Sumail, and I think he was the first player that popularized, from my perspective, popularized the Yule's one-shot build. Ever since then, Shadow Fiend has been like magic for years at this point, very squishy. But now he's getting back to his roots of right-click and being tanky, magic immunity, all that good stuff.
Is that why we're starting to see the uptick on this particular hero again? Just because of the little buffs that he's been getting to the attack?
Yes, and it's also the item, like I said, Shadow Blade.
Right.
Being
Makes
thrown
sense.
in. His shard got changed recently. I haven't really seen anybody prioritize it, but that could be it as well. Could be seen as quite valuable. But and a tiny last pick for the first time in existence.
Oh yeah! Oh my
This week.
gosh! They have no fear of.
Yeah, they just had their carry there the whole time, but they're more scared about a TB and a Medusa apparently, which is interesting. Heroes that are hard to kill. You can't kill those when you grip them very easily sometimes, especially not Medusa because their survivability is high.
5 seconds
Medusa.
remain.
Lady Dusa.
Yes, that was the joke.
I just wanted to say it too really bad.
Okay, all right. I'm glad
so I
that you
said
got
it.
that chance.
Thank you.
All right. Well, we've got some. Honestly, these are very comfort picks for most of SG, and I'm happy to see it. That is also a.
Make the ultimate
Okay.
choice.
All right. Team Spirit.
Carry TA? Oh,
No,
it's
that's
mid-TA.
Toronto Tokyo.
Okay. carry Shadow Fiend from the safe lane.
No! King Jungles is playing Elder Titan. I wanted to see Theolacorp for the
no.
love of God. And that's nothing against King Jungles. He is an excellent player, KJ. But I would have loved to see the Theolacorp Elder Titan. Tavo is an excellent Timber Star, though, so that will be fun to watch. Toronto, Tokyo, very good Templar Assassin. Collapse, obviously great on the Tidehunter. Mira's been playing a ton of Rubik. Like, I'm interested. Do you think they're going to shift the lanes? Do you think we're going to see a side lane TR, or is she still going to be in the mid?
Probably still mid, because Toronto, Tokyo always goes there, so most likely that's the way that they'll do it. I'm not really, I don't think I've seen, well, I don't know, maybe they will swap it, because they,
You're never
depends
sure.
on whether this game matters
Yeah.
for Team Spirit's placement. I assume that it does, like, you don't want to
I
mess
believe it
around,
is.
but-
You still, they're still playing for placement at this point. SG is out there
Yeah.
just playing because
And
they
it's-
love the game.
And there's not always time for teams, like pro teams, to know where the tiebreaker stuff's going to go. Because
True.
it's like, oh, we could figure out exactly what we need to do to get X thing. It's like, prep for your next Dota game no matter what. Win everything, get better. That's more important than, you know, knowing like, oh, we can relax a bit. You cannot relax until you're eliminated. Or you win. One of the two. Can be a lot more losing, unfortunately. But I do like Team Spirit's draft. I think it looks kind of wacky. Can't wait to see how the Shadow Fiend works against a Timber Saw. Is that their thought here? That they're like, well, they want a ranged hero against Timber in lane? That could make some sense.
It's possible.
And then if Shadow Fiend has enough mana, the threat of like the triple raise is like one of the few ways you can actually like zone Timber Saw. It'll cost you a lot of mana. That's the only downside. So maybe goes lane with Mangoes or something like that. But with a Bane as your dual lane partner, it actually seems that's kind of a cool combo actually, because you could pretty easily like get a dual raise as long as Bane's behind him, Nightmare, and get that triple raise, or possibly like try to separate it out a bit. Maybe there's some cool new tech stuff that we'll see this game.
I would love to see it. We saw some really cool things happening in our game of Thunder Predator versus
That other team.
T1.
There we go.
T1. I was gonna hiccup and I stopped for a minute.
I gotta say though, I don't think I've seen a single boring game for all the games we've casted.
Yeah.
Like they've all been very good. Different game lengths, but cool strategies. It's like that TI prep just makes for such interesting stuff. Where teams are at like their max consistently.
Look out for falling rocks.
Smoke over on the side of Team Spirit. Just want to get out there as fast as possible. The Theolacorp does take a hit from the tower here.
Yeah, and that's why you gotta run for it like this. It just reveals, you know, make sure that they, you don't know whether or not they have a ward here, because your hero's spotting it.
Everyone just, they're having a good time. Being good sports. Collapse, giving them all the high fives. The other course says, me too. I would like that.
Dude, Toronto Tokyo is going for the bounty, some cheeky stuff here. They do know this, though. They put the ward down earlier than on Team Spirit, so they won't go for that, most likely. Otherwise, you hit that double meld. That's minus 10 armor. If you get gushed on top of that, it's minus 14 armor.
That's, you're pretty much just naked then.
So you die when that happens.
Yeah. Yeah, all the pings coming out. She's there.
If
Don't
you guys
go there.
forgot, TA will murder you here. So
Yeah. So they're just going to go bottom.
yeah, they'll go contest the
Maybe
other
try
side.
to get a little sneak here. Do have to be careful, though, because there's the Rubik nearby. Moposhka.
I feel like TA's neck would hurt at this point. That was like a whole 2 minutes.
I feel like...
Crouch down, invisible.
But I feel like she's an assassin, and she probably is very flexible and does yoga and stuff, so...
Just does that all the time, just crouch and not moving.
No, a big part of training for stuff like that is just flexibility.
While underwater. Half underwater.
She's not underwater.
That's a river.
She wasn't underwater.
Her feet are wet for sure. Look, she's up to her knees.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean she put her face in the water. We have an overhead view.
Nah, she's like crouched down. I think she's holding her breath the whole time.
Well, I mean, that's probably another thing that assassins would learn how to do.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Yeah, I've seen the Born Identity. I know. So yeah, you're going to have Toronto Tokyo up against 4DR here in the mid lane. The TA versus Void Spirit lane-up should be favoring TA just because of the fact she can land those side blades from a distance.
Weird, Maposhka got Nightmare level 1. Does he really just wants to set up potentially for this triple raise or something? Or maybe that's like the one way to protect Shadow Fiend. Really thought he was going to go for more Brain Sap instead, but oh.
Yeah, there we go. Here it is. One. Only got the one. But you can see how the potential is very scary. And
Yeah.
Theolacorp sitting so very low. And it does have a solve, of course.
It's mostly about getting that Sentry D ward. It's really important because now the Olocore has to be less careful about how he does Sakuchi damage, but
And there was that anticipation. Moposhka seeing this courier, throws off one hit. He's going to back off.
more sentries being brought over. Yutoro's got level 2 now, so he'll be picking up some souls. If he can get the last hits, it's tough when they're contested, but... in the other lanes, Toronto Tokyo at 8-0. ADR is sitting at 7-1, so that one's even too.
Poshka keeps pinging. It's like saying, you know, I'm getting poked away here. But again, making that Weaver pay attention to him, soaking up some of that harass is just going to make things a lot easier for Yatoro.
Yeah. Makes a lot of sense that they put the Timber Saw versus Tide instead of the opposite, like Timber in the offhand like normal. Because you know, Tide's a strength hero, so he's gonna not lane so good against Timbersaw. But Collapse's natural element is off lane, so he'll be fine here most likely. He's gonna go for a fast Morbid Mass to just offset this harass that Taubo's gonna do, and this is also gonna allow him to cut the creep wave pretty easily and stay max HP constantly. That way he doesn't have to necessarily stand near Timbersaw. Because if you ever have this like lane advantage hero that you have to play against, that's the best thing to do is just go farm the creep wave far away from him so you can't kill his creep wave and then run at you. It costs him too much time. Wow, other Titan community really early observer word on the ancient camp. Not putting any sentry down. A little surprised, but hey, it's fine. Don't let him get any stacks for Tide.
He is always a very hungry, fishy boy. There we go. The sentry gets dropped on the other. Just going to make sure to block these stacks as Mira starts to move over a little bit. They have got the side pull. And King Jungles will happily take some of that damage from his spirit here.
Couple raises on the top lane. Nothing really special for SF yet other than boots, I guess. He's got that magic stick. Been saving that one up all laning stage. Now getting the raises in.
I'm a little surprised because it felt like they wanted to be super aggressive with the Nightmare. And they just haven't had this opportunity to quite find it.
I think they have it there as an option. They haven't quite had the opportunity yet, and that's okay. I mean, he drops all his stats, uses his wand, he refills a lot of his mana pool here. And they've got mangoes on Maposhka as well. I think that's another reason they brought so many, because that way they can use it on Yutoro.
Okay, here we go. Set up, but immediately they take off it on the side with the Avalanche. And they're going to get the first blood on the Olocore.
That's cool. Yeah, it works out well. They Nightmare the Tiny first. He has to defensively remove Nightmare, and then they set up the next kill. What the really cool thing would be if, maybe he didn't have Sakuchi, but if Tiny takes it back again or something like that.
Yeah.
I don't know if he could have, though, because he's got low move speed.
Gosh. Okay, they get the kill on Collapse in the bottom lane.
Yeah, not a big surprise, I guess. Because that is the strength hero matchup. He's even got 2 points of Whirling Death. Knowing that he's not going to be contested much, he's like, I just want as much damage as possible. So an extra 40 pure damage is pretty solid.
Yeah.
More stat loss percent, too.
Level 3 on the Titan. Level 5 Timbersaw.
Yeah, he's got a whole level over him.
Yeah, it's a big discrepancy. Again, like you said, this Whirling Death, 3 points in it now.
Oh, wow.
It's really obnoxious. And then when you go and you drop that Spirit on top.
Kraken Shell's pretty good against it, though. He almost got 3 stacks, but it just removed it eventually. And then he was just full health. Like, having these Kraken levels really makes a difference. Go ahead, hit me.
Yeah.
It's kind of a fun lane matchup, but
It's interesting to watch for sure.
it's like the mechanic is so weird with Kraken. Well, with Whirling Death and when Kraken's gonna proc, it's like you really aren't completely sure when it's gonna
Maposhka?
be enough.
I thought they were gonna maybe go for something.
I think it's a really big deal actually that they killed Weaver. I feel like in almost all the Weaver support games we saw, Weaver never dies. He just consistently gets his urn at a good time. Maposhka top lane, gonna be melee range, who does get Nightmare off to protect himself, and they were just a little low on mana on Tiny. If he had the toss mana there, very different.
It's a lot of damage. King Jungle's now chasing behind the tower. He's gonna get murdered. Yeah. Tip comes out from Mira.
Was he going to suicide or something?
No, he was going to fight Mira.
Oh.
They're fighting. Mira popped the stick that he had on him, and then the tower just got the last 2 shots.
I see. I don't know if he's going to figure out the ancient stacks. He dewarded the large camp, but not the ancient one. Is he going to see? He sees now. Okay,
Yes.
now he'll know to deward it.
A lot of rotation here down to the bottom lane.
Radiant should look to their middle tower.
Tavo doing great, though. Top last hits.
Look to their bottom.
Net worth-wise,
40 yard,
top there.
moving towards the top. They want to make a play over onto Yatra. They'll get the Avalanche off. Kikuchi forward here, sidestepping from that Remnant. Toss up into the air though, and one more hit or so should be enough to take down Yatoro. So it'll be Theolacor who gets the final killing blow. Bottom lane, again, more pressure being placed over onto Collapse. This Kraken Shell though, still helping quite a bit. Just going to continue to Whirling Death, try to get some of these body blocks off. He's got the Chakram as well. And I think this is eventually going to be a dead Collapse. It is going to take very long. Oh, never mind. Okay, Collapse, I see you.
Still might die, though.
Okay. Nope, not with the, do they dive? I feel like Tavo's going to die here. Tavo's going to die here. Oh my gosh, off ladies wants it. Oh, it's not quite enough damage to get Collapse. They want it. Tavo just diving right back into this area. He really wants to kill Collapse. He just can't seem to find it. As Toronto Tokyo also joining in. He's going to try to teleport out. Oh my god. Tavalito, 17 hit points.
That was really close for literally everybody involved. If he just needed to pull back the Chakram just a fraction of a second earlier, he would have done 110 pure damage. Tide would have died, but he just waited a little bit too long. He got out of the AoE, just barely. But it cost him a Ravage. But the upside is that Collapse isn't mega feeding at all. His net worth is still quite good. It's sitting at 3,000. He's only 200 gold behind where Timbersaw his net worth was.
Theolacor doing some scouting, does walk right on top of the sentry wards. They have the vision over on the high ground too. They'll throw out a Remnant in case they try to go for the D ward here. King Jungles, wrong place, wrong time for him, unfortunately. Toronto Tokyo will collect another kill.
Yeah, and he's going to get the rune too. A DD. Going to be great for clearing camps if there were any. It looks like Shadow Fiend just cleaned them all up or something. So net worth still even in the game between Spirit and SG. On the other side of the map, the Tiny is getting some okay farm, but
really impressed.
Tiny contesting. I just watched him. He stole the neutral wave. Like Tiny went in and like comboed it, and he just anchor smashed it. So that's why I gave him a. That's why I talked shit just now.
Got it. I will say, it's very confusing when I hear your voice, but it's not coming out of your mouth. Like
yeah, it's the same when I've been hearing Lacoste's line a lot.
Yeah.
And sometimes when I'm watching him cast, he just doesn't say anything. And I just get confused at first.
I can't imagine. What was it? There was one TI where, well, that thought. I think they're trying to make something happen. No, he's going to try to get the final sentry. Yeah, what was it? Owen's absolutely perfect.
Yeah.
And he was just about to say it, and then they actually spammed the voice line. And like he and Fog just start laughing. Can't imagine how confusing that is, Baboshka. Echo Stomp doesn't quite connect.
They are really invading
Very
against
aggressive.
the TA. Bane may be in trouble, but he gets out just in time.
A lot of pressure on the bottom tower here. You notice how many heroes are here?
Yeah, I like that they put the cliff ward really defensively. If I watch like a normal game and they de-ward it or they ward it here as on the dire side, I'd be like, this ward sucks on the tri-camp. But it's important because it's going to help them spot when SG comes in and allow them to know when to come back in to de-ward it. Because they do want to allow their team to farm here. It's very efficient for Shadow Fiend and TA. But having the vision here just means that in the meantime, nobody gets killed. Collapse is going to deal with top really well. They have just about a 2k advantage on Team Spirits. This is going great. But KJ does de-ward it in the end.
He's probably going to pay for this with his life. Go for the stomp, the lift. Not going to be able to get out. Yatoro will get the kill.
Yep, and Mask Madness on Yatoro. So all right-click. And even maxed out Necro Mastery.
Oh, wow, yeah.
Because he knows he's all going to be hitting the creeps.
All right, what do we have? Toronto Tokyo is working on that Blink Dagger. It's going to be the next item on his list. He's going to just walk past Theolacor, make his way top, and they know that Toronto Tokyo is coming, so Sabile backing off a little bit. Goes for the Ravage play. He's going to slow them down with the Slight with that Avalanche. They'll still get the kill on top on the other length. Sabile trying to duck around these trees here. King Jungles and Theolacor here. They throw out the Gush, get the Anchor Smash. One more hit. Toronto Tokyo will find yet another kill.
That was nicely done. The Avalanche had to be thrown there when the Ravage came, but that was the issue. Collapse just like jumped on him and followed him in melee range and was like, go ahead, try to get away. So even though they saw that the TA was coming, Weaver can't do anything to slow that down. So all they could do is watch as Tiny, the technical offlaner, but really carry, gets killed. And that's not something we see super often at a Tiny in this game position. But this is one of the other negatives for what SG's done. Tavo, despite going for all these points of Whirling Death, the fact that he didn't get a lot of kills with it kind of makes his skill build feel a little bit weaker because now he just doesn't have as many reactive armor. He's not that survivable right now. But as long as his opponents think he has it, then maybe it'll work.
Echo Stomp connecting over onto Collapse. Continue. Timber Chain, the Chakram, the Theolacor throwing out the Swarm, wanting to just lower that armor as much as possible. And it'll be King Jungles who gets final hit. Collapse's Courier also falling here. That was, of course, his cloak. Ring of Regen. I believe that was his
neutral item, too.
Yeah.
That's big.
Good.
A lot of armor.
Stabile being held into place. Yatoro pulling up, gets off the Requiem. Easy peasy. Needs a couple more hits here, and they'll find the kill. Uncle Stabile.
Who needs Yule's Scepter? You just need a Maposhka on your team. It's all going to be fine.
Yeah, I mean, it basically is.
Well, he's making this safe lane Shadow Fiend work. Can't help but think that they're like, this is a strat that they think is kind of okay, but they're just giving a little test here.
Yeah.
But it's working so far.
KJ hiding in the tree line. The Theolacor is nearby. They're looking for the Echo Stomp. Won't quite connect. Theolacor will just run past the creeps, put out a little bit of damage. Lift up, though, over onto KJ. Collapse going right underneath this tower. He doesn't mind taking it. Well, Yatoro just whacks away at it. Another Echo Stomp. He's still dead.
Another one. Do it again. Honestly, I'm really impressed. Is that close enough?
That's very close, yeah.
Oh, grip goes on the
There is a
support.
grip over on Theolacor. They'll hold him in place, and the Fade Bolt from Mira.
And he gives him Sakuchi naturally, too. So
Yeah, be pretty happy about that. You can see Tavo trying to put some pressure onto Yatoro, but Collapse nearby. And there's a full invasion now coming out from the side of Team Spirit into this jungle. They're taking away the resources, they're taking away the land. And I think the next item on their list will be this middle tower. Traps are being placed. 4DR. Immediately nightmared. Yatoro making his way over. And it doesn't really matter that Toronto Tokyo is taking a nap. They'll still get the tower hit, and they'll still get 4DR. As Team Spirit just running them down one by one. Lots of damage, Toronto Tokyo. They drop the Earth Splitter. It doesn't end up doing anything. We're trying to cleave off of the creep, but they'll find themselves another target. They'll find themselves Theolacor. There's a big brain sap and yet another Fade Bolt.
man, they do a lot of damage right now
They
between
really do.
nukes. And the fact that they can just be this aggressive on their opponents, like just land disables and get Yatoro in melee range, and just a double or triple race just keeps working for him. But I can't help but think that maybe SG should be, this should be a little different somehow. Like they, I don't know, it's like they're getting nightmared or slightly out of position, and that's doing so when all of Team Spirit is a big problem. And I think that was maybe the initial mistake, is that Void Spirit went a little close on Dissimulate and didn't realize everybody was there. But so maybe just not read the map.
Mira was like shakuching like right at Tavo. He's like, I bet I kick it him. I bet I kick it him. And Yasuo was like, nah, I'd rather go hit some creeps. They just back off. But they're really trying to mirror over on the side of SG, trying to find any farm that's safe. This is very difficult. So again, Mira lifting up with, oh my god, all right.
Totally worth it. Get the Ravage kill. Oh, can they get Tiny as well?
This is big. If they're able to go and grab the time, they nightmare him. Place him, Yatoro. Just kind of dancing around the side here, doing a lot of kiting, trying to get off enough magic right-click damage, and it's going to go to Yatoro with a double kill.
They are just all over the place.
Toronto Tokyo, did you see how patiently he sat there waiting for Tavo? This Meld Strike doing amazing amounts of damage. Laying forward, it's a solo kill.
That's for making him wade in the river before. Deserves it. Another huge kill. Man, they're just crushing ever. We're going to 3-2-2 at this rate. It's not far.
It is not.
It's only going to take 8 more SG players. With these supports as survivable as they are, I mean, Rubik doesn't have Sakuchi right now, so maybe you can catch him in the moment, but
the aggression is just insane coming out from the side of Team Spirit.
Great
They
dodge.
know that. Look at this. They go right in.
Oh,
They have
the
the
grip.
Fiend's grip off over onto 40R. Splitter gets dropped. Miposhka, though, still alive. It's not looking so good for 40R. They
Got
can
him.
eventually get Miposhka, but they'll be able to take down the mid player. As now King Jungle's running for his life. Yatoro just dancing around him. They land the Echo Stomp. Buys a bit more time. Tavo joining into the fight now. Throws out the Chakram, trying to put as much, well, it's decent amount of damage actually over onto Collapse. Going to follow up with the Avalanche. Yatoro, though, again, just kiting everyone left and right. It's going to be another steal. It's going to be the Shikuchi. Tavo, these right clicks, they hurt so much as he's next to fall. Look at the damage at the Olicore. Say your line. Say your line.
Honestly, I'm really impressed with that fight. Like that was pretty cool. It was like it's just so interesting, right? Like so much time collapses, like juking back and forth, like which way are you gonna go, Timber? Which way are you gonna go? And it just bought so much time for Shadow Fiend to just DPS in that fight. Like his damage dealt, he did almost 5,000 damage in that engagement. He raised 5 total times. He used Mask Madness twice. Like that was a long engagement, but Miposhka did a great job at the start. The instant grip, well, the dodge the sleep, so many things.
Oh, King Jungles. Having a nightmare on a cliff. Arteezy has also had this nightmare.
Oh, can he get the ward?
Try to just get the ward. He gets the ward.
That was cool.
Oh. Ah.
But they were like, oh, it'll be fine. We'll leave him to die here. But then he gets the
tip.
ward. That was cool. He got something out of it.
He did. He did at least. You know, sometimes that's what you have to focus on is the positive and the negatives.
And here's the minus armor, the Deso, the Melt Strike, the Shadow Fiend Aura, and the Gush. All make it pretty easy. Roshan's armor was real close to 0, and that is not easy to attain.
Very largely armored Tarrasque.
Mira finds Tavo.
It's left off. Just waiting for the rest of the team to show up. Poshka got the Fiend's Grip if they want to try to make a play here. He's got to get the vision, the nightmare to start.
Oh, interrupts it.
Interrupts it. Collapses here. Fiend's Grip gets off and gonna take a couple hits, but Mira, the support Rubik, is 4-0 in 10, and he's currently dominating. 10K net worth lead going over to the side of Team Spirit. They have an Aegis on TA.
He's playing great.
Yeah.
I'm still questioning Tavo's skill build, for sure. The 3 points in Whirling Death really hurt him, I think, because he's still got 1 point in reactive armor, so I don't know, it like kind of changes the value of the hero. Like, he can push creep waves and stuff. He's aiming for a Bloodstone, but like I can't help but think that like armor plus hood would have just been the safer build to go. But hey, they're far behind. 10K gold advantage now for Team Spirit. Tier 2 tower going to get pressured. The map control is massive. I mean, they've already got the shrine anyways, so SG's got to run a long ways to go hit creeps safely.
Well, the Tier 2 will get taken down by Team Spirit. They're ready to break the base. Crack on in.
Might as well. We've got a TA. Shadow Fiend did get presence or effects buildings, a talent that's often overlooked for Shadow Fiend players, but now he's got 6 more minus armor on this tower. Instinct's going to die quick. Look at this damage.
Yeah, that's actually, there's so much negative armor actually on this team.
Yeah.
Oh, 40R's Courier gets killed having the Sange on it. Nice stop. Chakram will go out. It's just so hard to get them off these buildings. Collapse doesn't have a Blink Dagger. Can I just say the fact that he is just able to just walk up to anyone he wants, they can't slow him down, and he's just able to get these Ravages off.
All right, they cut the creep wave, but can they kill this melee Rex through backdoor?
They're going to try to go for the air split over onto... Yeah, it whiffs. It's not enough time. Left over onto Tavo. Look at this negative armor. We talked about it.
Oh,
Toronto Tokyo
man.
is just absolutely dominating. 4-0 and 2. Who's had the deaths here? Actually, you know,
Who's bad? 420. There it is. Oh, we did it.
Jenkins will be
once
proud
you lose
of us.
the 3-2-2, 420 is the next goal. Everybody knows that. And it wasn't 24 either. Perfect. I want to stat on that.
He's trying so hard to get anything here. Yatra's just following, trailing him. Doesn't have anything to cancel out this TP, really, so he's going to make it out.
So, yeah, basically we're going to see SG cutting creeps to keep Team Spirit away from their base. They still lost the racks, but they are succeeding in slowing the game down a little bit. But the gold advantage is so big at this point, and they're just not going to stop. We've got 2 minutes left on the Aegis for Templar Assassins. They get ready to pressure the top tier 2, but this is actually a decent moment. SG could have collapsed right there. On collapse, didn't mean to do that, sorry.
Very nicely done.
And Toronto Tokyo would have been effective.
They do find Costabile again. Not really anyone else around. Probably Costabile feeling a little nervous, but they do have vision over on the bottom areas. They jump over onto Tavo. Okay, stop. And Yatro just starts clicking away at this poor timber saw. He's used to cutting down trees, but instead he's going to be the one who gets cut down. Oh, that bounce trick. Oh my god, King Douglas! 3 hits from the TA is all it takes to crack open a Titan.
They got creeps in the base. Bot tier 2's dead. I guess you go Barax, but they're kind of just living in the enemy base now. No, are they gonna end this?
I think they're going to. They don't have a Timbersaw for 20-something seconds, and it's not like he's able to do much of anything. The Elder Titan's back up at about 6.
Yeah, they're just working on the buildings here. -7 armor from Presence of the Dark Lord on these towers.
All right, Sableye trying to get these creeps off the buildings, but look at this. They know that they cannot be stopped on the side of Spirit. They're feeling very powerful. Positioning is good. Blink Dagger gets picked up on Tiny. I think he's still, all right, there they go. They jump in for the Ravage immediately. Double kill here for Toronto Toki. He's godlike with that stuff. Oh my word. The GG gets called. And that ends
Give him his
SG's.
rampage at TI.
There
He
it
gets
is. There's the TI rampage.
That feels good. All right. Great series for Team Spirit. Absolute bloodbath there. And unfortunate for SG Esports, but that's going to mark the end of their TI run. But still, really great for them that they were able to make it here. They got some solid wins in the group stage. Not a huge amount,
what does that net them for
money?
Yeah.
I think it's 100K, 80 or 100K. It's about there. So it's still decent.
Yeah.
Not too bad for qualifying. So great for them.
Yeah, nothing to sneeze at for sure. You know, they get to say that they played in TI 10. And you know what? There's always going to be another chance next year to do it. But that does end their run. And Team Spirit, where does that put them now for the rankings?
I mean, they're sitting really good. Those 2 more wins. I think that put them, they were tied with Team Secret when I checked the things. I'm going to have to double check for...
Yeah, I don't know if we've gotten any updates.
Yeah, let me refresh on my cell phone here. 1 second. That is Group A. Group B. Okay, so Team Spirit is now 10-6.
Okay.
That's their final score. They won 5 series, 2-0, and they lost 3 series, 0-2. So no draws for them.
Okay.
Yeah, and VG Gaming is, for some reason, Team Spirit's not marked as green yet. So my guess is there's more matches to be played. It basically comes down to Team Spirit, Team Secret, and Beast Coast. One of those goes lower bracket.
Okay.
One of the other 2 stay top. And considering that they're 10-6 right now, they got to be sitting pretty happy. I wouldn't be surprised if they get to stick. That might also be that they haven't updated for the 2-0. No, it looks like they did. So I don't know. We'll have to see. But it's those 3 teams that could be tough.
Well, that's very exciting when you think about those 3 teams, right? You've got Beast Coast, which if you're a Beast Coast fan, you have a heart attack every time they play. I've had many heart attacks. Then you have, of course, Team Secret, who's very, very popular. You're never sure what's going to happen because we have not seen much of Team Secret until TI at this point. And then now you've got Team Spirit added into the mix, which are the young guns, the up-and-comers, and they're hungry and ready to fight for what's there. So very exciting TI. That is it for us here for the group stage. Had a great time casting with you, my friend.
I did too.
And yeah, that's going to be it for today. So take some time, check out the other streams, make sure that you're keeping up to date with all the information, and we will see you when we get to the main stage.